easier to watch YouTube for the comments and watch Discord for live pictures. Yeah, that's what I did. I just
You might get
we
there.
got the spinny wheel.
Yep. Okay. I shouldn't
Are
have
you going to do that first?
I got to do that. Yep, we're going to do that first. And back to that one. Everyone's going to hate me for that. Plug it up. Ready to go, boys? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Phillip Island for round 8 of the V8 Veterans Split 3 replay. With me in the house tonight, I've got Adrian Zill, Ed Cullen, Mark Dole, Mick Power, and of course, we've got Scotty Van Loon, the Rattler. How are we, gentlemen?
Very good, thanks, John.
Good for Saturday night.
Yes, Saturday
Good,
night,
thanks,
something
John.
different. How are you, Adrian?
Good, how are you?
Anybody watching at home, if I'm coming across too noisy compared to the boys, just sing out and let me know, and I'll try and fix that up as we go. And big shout out to Will Wilson again, our number 1 ticket holder in the house already watching. So good to have Will with us on a Saturday night. And boys, we've got the honour tonight of kicking off the pre-qualifying. Well, basically, we've got the rights here to do the spinning wheel of death for pre-qualifying. And for those who don't know what's happening this year with pre-qual, we're going to use, or the race committee and management are going to use the current season's 12 tracks, and we've split them up into long and short. And we removed Nordschleife because we thought that's probably not really fair to be doing quali around there. And so we're basically left with 5 tracks for our long circuits, being Sebring, Monza, Imola, and Fuji and Suzuka. So as you can see on the screen, we've got the spinning wheel of death, as I like to call it, for the long tracks. So any preference, boys?
No.
I think me and Mark will go for a Sebring.
Yep.
Rightio, we'll press the magic button.
As long as it's not Suzuka.
Press the magic button and here we go.
Please.
Oh no.
Oh no. Really?
Imola.
Who was the nuff that put that on there?
Have we raced there yet?
Yes. That was
Yeah,
very
we
early
raced
on.
there. We raced there a lot.
We do.
Oh, okay.
And it gets used for scops, and it's a very popular track in that sense. So what we'll do now is we'll switch to the short tracks, where we have Laguna Seca, Belle Isle, Phillip Island, Alton Park, Sandown as our circuits. So
Sandown, I think.
Sandown, Mark's going for Sandown. Anyone else a betting man? Want to throw a name in the hat?
Rattler will go for
Phillip Island.
Yeah, I'll go Phillip Island. but without a pit stop.
Oh, no. Anyway, here we go, boys. Modern technology. And Alton Park.
Oh.
Have we raced there yet?
I think that is one of the last 2 rounds.
Right. Okay.
I think we have.
We have raced there before, yeah.
Oh, we raced there, yeah. I haven't raced there yet.
Yeah, I think about
Oh, good.
season 10, I think, Mark, off the top of my head. Yeah.
Can't be. Yeah, I may not have been around.
Yeah. So there we go. We have our circuits lined up for this upcoming prequel. So it's going to be interesting. Miller and Alton Park. Wow. Two very different styles of track.
2 tracks that shouldn't have been on there.
But fairest way of doing it. And the idea of using the season 12 tracks is it gives the committee and management a fair idea of what people have done in the past at that circuit recently, and also means that we can use the same setup as we've used for season 12. So, in the same track conditions. So, you know, if someone like myself who all of a sudden comes out and goes 3 seconds a lap quicker, people can go, well, something a bit strange there. And also, in the case of a couple of people that have already told us that they can't make pre-qual because of work and other family commitments, we've got a clear picture of where they sit in terms of the rest of the field for making an assessment of which split they'll end up in. So anyway, I reckon we'll have a quick look at the grid here. No surprises, starting at the back. Not really clever. No surprises who's on pole. Mr. Scotty the Rattler Van Loon.
No surprises, do you reckon?
Nah, no surprises at all. You were flying.
How
Timmy-
come he's not named? How come he's not nicknamed Scotty Van Hoon?
And why am I still a bloody privateer?
We've got to
You
teach
haven't
it.
changed the
DK.
SDK.
Oh, okay. So it's my fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
I'll chuck another post up about that one.
Okay.
And then we have coming in the other side, we've got Timmy Betts sharing the front row. And Andrew Galley with a really good qualifying for his 50th race. In third spot with Adrian Zeal with another good qualifying position in fourth, ahead of Simon Farrington and Ed Cullen on the third row. Jeremy Bush and David Worrell share the next row. Little subtle thing there to have a look at who David's team is, by the way. And we move on to 9 and 10, where we've got Pete Vermey and Darren Walden. And then followed by Bruce McLeod and Matty Mites. And we move on to the next page, where we have Michael Power and Tony Power. Brotherly love there. Scotty Perrins all the way back in 15th. Scotty wouldn't be happy with that. And Jeffrey Eddy in 16. Brett Taylor back in 17th. Lucas Burt 18th. Joseph Granshaw. Lucas Saunders. Myself, who had a shocker. Greg Sholton in 22nd. Peter Wilkinson 23rd. Phil Marsh in 24th. And to round out the rest of the field, we have Peter Tulloch, Diane Fieldman, Jason Dixon, and then Josh Strage as our race control, and safety car was Brendan McMillan again. So I reckon it's probably time we get this party started. What do you reckon, boys?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
I've changed my paint back. Oops, my bad. Sorry.
You're right. There's someone off in the back now. Traffic. Brett Taylor, I think. That's coming through. The other cars are too loud, so I'll turn them down. Thanks for that one, Will. Continue on, Scotty Van Loon out in front. Tim in the Mitre 10 livery, absolutely flying again like usual. And then a little bit further behind them, Adrian Zeal. Managing to hang off Andrew Galley. It's just such a tough turn, this turn 2, to get it right every single time.
Yeah, it was, because there were probably 2 different lines you could take. The
Mm.
inside or the outside, and slingshot back in.
It was one of those corners too. If you didn't dot your I across your T, boy, did you lose some time.
Like this.
Oh, was that a lag hit?
No,
Yeah, we've got Dave Worrell in.
Control.
Yep.
333.
Shit. Hit that one.
Who was that? Was that Adrian that one that went around?
Yeah, Adrian went around. And that's where Andrew got his drive through. And Adrian a little bit loose, still recovering. That's the other thing with this track. Once your tyres were off and shot, you're in a little bit of trouble. As we jump back up the front with Timmy. So he's definitely putting a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, he was. And I had the normal mirror. I didn't have the virtual mirror. I had that off, just to try and help me, because I get so anxious and nervous. But I knew he was always there. I just kept looking down at the time. It's like 0.4, 0.3. But yeah, I just had to do what I hadn't done before.
And look forward and drive.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. You got to keep it simple, mate. If you overcomplicate it, yeah, it'll do your head in.
Mate, I couldn't use the force Thursday night. I actually had to see where I was going.
yeah, it's an awesome pace, Scott. I mean, even through practice and I mean, you hit the 28s. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't quite hit the 28, but it's a track that as soon as I started it, I liked it. I hadn't driven it before, but I liked it, unlike Suzuka.
Yeah, like I said, I was quite impressed with your practice times. It was right up there. The split 2 material.
It was fast all
Don't you
week.
start.
But you're always going to be the biggest improver this season. I was expecting to see you work your way to the front by the end.
No pressure, Johnny.
Yeah, I was
Thanks,
going to say, get on there.
Hey, I behaved myself last night on Thursday night. I didn't
Yeah,
say
but I
sitting
could-
on the
I
grid. I
could
didn't
still
ask if you were
feel you.
nervous.
I can still feel you, Johnny, in the back of my head. It's like, Johnny,
It was
he's
like,
putting them up.
do I say it? Don't I say it? And it was like, no, I won't say it this week.
Well, I was waiting for it.
I'll save it for Nordschleife.
I was very surprised with you, John. I thought you did a magnificent move going into the pits really early on when the safety car was about to come out, and I thought, oh, he's done this nice and early, but then I didn't see you again.
Yeah, I went into panic mode and still thought I didn't have enough. Anyway, we'll get to the safety car when we get to the safety car. What lap are we on now? Lap 4. So jump back up the front. Don't know why it's still back there.
Scotty, at least you led a lot longer than I did than the last race. I think I managed to get through this. Was it 1, 2, 3 turns and lost it? Lost the lead. So you're doing quite well, mate.
Thanks. I'm learning. It's like each and every race.
Hey, Bruce.
G'day, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce.
I forgot. Your parents go to bed quite early when you feed them free dinner, so all the 80th birthday has wrapped up already.
Happy birthday to your mum, mate.
Yeah, I did see that post, and I'm thinking, oh, he's slipped out on the mobile phone or something.
Yeah, so I'm up in Grafton. So a nice 7-hour drive today and a nice 7-hour drive back tomorrow. So
That's nice. Grafton's not too bad of a place in the world.
yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. Spent way too long here as a child, but anyway. It's funny, I've never even gone close to actually going to Phillip Island in real life. Might actually have to do it one day.
It's a good track to visit. I don't know what it's like now. I went back early 2000s, and you could actually walk right around the outside of the track.
Oh.
I don't think you can do that anymore. I think they've sort of stopped and blocked a few of those little bits around the back here and around this area off. But yeah, it was good fun to do.
Be a fair walk, Mark.
Well, it was a fair walk, but yeah, enjoyed it.
set and friend. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There's
oh,
Timmy. That's what I've been waiting for.
It's a pity Timmy wasn't on tonight because I would have asked him whether he was just waiting for me to make a mistake and he was saving his tyres behind me, or whether I actually had genuine pace. So it's a pity he's not on.
He actually did the fastest lap of the race the previous lap.
Okay.
I don't know if that put a bit of.
And then
maybe
coming back on, he was caught up in this train here, going past him. So he really got sucked a long way back before he got it back up to speed.
And as you know, when you cook them, they take a couple of laps to come back.
Mm.
Yep. I didn't even recognise myself in the pack race delivery there, trying to find myself. You guys had pace. There's no question about that. Like, I was definitely looking after tyres. I brought them up slowly and was thinking about them. But even then, it was like, and I was pumping out 31s quite regularly. But you boys were quick. I couldn't close you down at all, really.
Pete Verme in the True Blue livery.
I must admit, at one point, I think later on the race, I had the two True Blue cars in front of me. I'm going, what have you got the shade wrong? Because one's a little bit lighter than the other one. And I was trying to remember exactly which was the right blue, but I was for a whole lap, I'm
there's
like,
two. There's actually,
critiquing the paint.
if you have a look on Google, there's actually two different colours and two different style of liveries. So this one doesn't have the Queensland maps on it, map of Queensland. Where if we go to one I prepared earlier, you can see it's got the Queensland map on the back of it and on the roof.
Yeah, it's interesting. We can see how different.
There we go. Nice work, Andrew.
Hey.
That's one way to take that corner and do a pass.
Well played, John. Well played.
Who was that? And that was Andrew.
Andrew, yeah. Of course, yep, go ahead.
I was going to say good driving. Yeah, it didn't end up in a big mess, did it?
No, just practice his speedway skills of going around a corner sideways.
It was good to see Diane out tonight too, or Thursday night, racing. Putting some practice in.
And Faz and the Moffat livery.
He had some genuine pace, as you can see with spots. Yeah, he had some really big, lot of pace tonight.
Yeah, he was flying in that first half of the race.
Yeah, he was.
I
could see the time like tumbling down. Not tumbling, but went from 6 to 4.
Bit of a battle still back with Pete Verme. These boys are still running close together. Scotty Perrins in the Garth Tander Toll livery. So it's really impressive. A lot of boys have gone to a lot of trouble for these liveries this week, which is really appreciated. Well, no, I spent most of the week doing paints than practicing.
Yeah, I didn't finish the back of mine. I was just like got too busy with work. I didn't actually put the yellow on the back of it. But I got the first 3/4 of it done.
I didn't realise we had to keep the old liveries on for the race tonight. I would have kept it on because Scotty and I were teammates, so we both went to Toll racing colours. It was Tander and was it Will Davids then?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it? So.
So, what's your paint scheme, Bruce?
So mine is the Alan Jones Racing Pack Leader Falcon. So this is when Peter Jackson was taking the money out and Glenn Seaton had the opportunity to do one more year, and he said no, and Alan Jones said, I'll take the money. So he got together with the Stone Brothers, who were the mechanics from Dick Johnson Racing at the time, and they formed Alan Jones Racing, which Alan stayed involved, I think, for 2 years under the Pack Leader brand, and then that became Stone Brothers Racing, which then went on to become, what is now Red Bull Racing, I think. So it's basically the start of the most successful team in supercars, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I remember
Yeah,
Alan
Alan.
Jones. Yep.
I remember. I knew when Jonesy drove, but
Yeah, because he drove with Glenn Seaton, because they did run the two Peter Jackson Falcons for a couple of years, and this was the year after that when Alan. This time, Glenn Seaton was in the Ford Credit livery doing his solo campaign. Alan Jones did the pack leader for a couple of years, and then it became Craig Lowndes, I think, in the silver, and Black Machine was when it became Stone Brothers Racing at that point.
With the green eyes.
There you go. And
Yep,
just
that one.
in the chat for you, Scotty, Timmy's saying that he didn't have the pace. He wasn't sitting behind you waiting for a mistake, and he was basically settling into fuel saving mode before he spun.
Okay. Thanks, Tim.
I think I spent most of the race just trying to get that hook into turn one and get that camber right every single lap. It's every. I think I got it right twice, because you can really feel it hook when you just get it perfect. You might get it that right, then you screw up turn two. So, I was commentating an F3 race here actually on Saturday morning, so I knew where the crashes happened and I knew where the pace happened. I was just trying to not screw it up myself.
Yeah, it does grip up. You can feel it when you've got it. It feels very good.
And of
And
course,
you can really feel it when you don't.
Yes.
Dave Worrell's
Oversteer.
dropped in the chat as well. How are you, Dave?
Evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Yeah, good.
g'day, Dave.
That's all right.
Of course, Dave was in the All Care Group A Commodore, which was the original car that gave Marcus Ambrose his start in touring cars in the V8s.
Built by Perkins Engineering.
Well, we can hear you.
Yeah. Built by Perkins Engineering as well.
Yep, that's right, yeah. By Perkins Engineering. And Josh Strage, Mr. Race Control, has dropped in as well. Fairly quiet night for him up to this stage.
He's been here a while. He's just staying very quiet.
He's lurking.
Yeah. Like race control too.
I think he just comes in just to see if we pick on him. That's right. He'll get his later.
I think Dave's harassing me a bit at the moment. Giving me the little hurry up.
Yep.
I wouldn't do a thing like that, would I?
Yes, you would, mate. I was just saying what a fun night it was, Dave. It was on for the big track, but it's amazing how much company you had for the whole race.
It was good. A good night. There's always something to do. You weren't bored. I suppose.
No. And there's a few hard luck stories.
Just a few.
So we'll just have to wait till that pans out. But yeah, there was quite a few of those. So it was a very interesting race, to say the least.
So he's up to talk the lap tonight.
Sorry, what was that? You're breaking up.
Maybe somebody.
I can do it if you want.
You going to do it, are you, Rattler?
No, I was thinking maybe somebody mid-pack with a car in front of them and the car behind them. With pressure.
Should do the team thing and I'll throw Dave Worrell under the bus for the next lap.
Whoa.
Sorry, what was that? You're breaking up.
You know that trick now.
I'm more than happy to do it if you want, John.
No worries, Bruce.
I spent 2 hours talking F3s around here. I think I could talk myself around for a lap.
Of course. Let's come down
Where's
in
it gone?
empty. Let's go
Coming
Tim.
off the last turn.
Yep.
Coming off the last turn, Bruce.
Come off the last turn. Here we go. So one of the things here, it's like one thing I really noticed here is I could actually finally feel the edge of understeer with this car. So coming around here, it's like trying to test that limit. To, find the understeer, not too much. Try not to put it on the outside. I did a lot in practice where I'd sort of go one wheel off the dirt there. Coming out to turn one, having a quick look, check no one's coming out of pit lane. Then going on the left, putting the wheels right over the left, looking for that white line, and then looking for the post. There's the post. Hook it in, nice and tight. Knock up on like there. That was a mistake because he's starting to lose the camber. Go right. Okay, now I've got to break it. Then I'd sort of go back to third, maybe back to second for some rotation. Then back to third again. Trying to have a quick look. Who's behind? Am I going to be under attack or not? Here. Swing it down. Just off the ripple strip and then line up the braking zone. Put it back a bit too early. Slowly come down, try not to over-rotate it and snatch the back brake, which I did occasionally. Come out short shift to second. Going out to the right, looking into the curb. There, back to second, rotate, wait, not brake. Realise I hadn't trail braked enough because I never do there, even though I should. Back on the power, out to the left, just take a bit of curb. Try and stay off the curb on the right. Although some guys like to eat that curb, I like to stay off it. Go mid-track, how deep do I go about here? Then it's get in tight, try to get it back to third, and then a bit short of a short skirt, and then try not to spin it like I may have done later. Short shift back to second, and then try and just basically be cautious with the right foot, but maximise the exit speed. Right out to the right, out eat all the curb, and then back in for the final turn to finish a lap of Phillip Island. Love this place.
Nice work, Bruce.
Good lap, mate. That last turn, a lot of us do it very different. So I'll just come off the throttle probably for half a second, go wide, and then I'm flat out, and I cut across so I don't actually hit the inside curb. Whereas I found a lot of the guys hugging that
I've still got 2
inside
seconds.
curb.
I've got 2 seconds to find, so I'm definitely not the fastest around there. And I think that turn and turn one is most of it, trying to be consistent.
Yep.
Of course, we've got Ed with his battery-powered livery as Darren Walden takes a spin off in the grass.
That was for you, John. You called me Mr. Ryobi last week, so. And it's a bit retro because they're older model tools on that car. So I've been working on it. That's actually a mirror image of my work car, by the way, guys. Even the car model. So I went out and took a few photos and cut and paste, and there you go. You got a skin.
Right, it's come up well, Ed.
Thanks,
Yeah, it
mate.
did. Looks good.
At
Professional.
this point, I had Timmy behind me, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to let you pass. You're going to earn it, buddy. But he gets, spoiler alert, he's a lot faster than I am, so it's probably inevitable. But I wasn't going to give it to him on a platter.
Yeah, you have. Sorry, Mark,
Yeah.
go on. No, you go, Mark.
I was going to say the one thing I find with this track, and the one thing I hate with this track, is that there isn't a setup that I've driven at this track that can actually get on the gas in that second last corner and not either over rotate the car or come out too slow. And I've been driving Phillip Island since the day I got iRacing, and there hasn't been one single setup that anyone's made that's any good for it.
I short shift all the gears through that, second and
Oh.
third.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you got to be very sensitive.
Well, I try short shifting, but short shifting, you still end up plucking it wrong, or tenth of a second early, and you're out in the grass. There's got to be a way that somebody can set that car up properly, or it's either an iRacing issue.
Oh, it's the same thing in real life out there. You got to be real tentative if you're getting on the gas through here as well. You'd be surprised how quick it actually is through there.
Are you talking this corner, Mark?
No, it's the other one under the bridge as you come off Lukey Height.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. It's a tricky section, that whole little bit, isn't it?
He's got to run on me now. There's nothing I can do. It's like, all right, okay.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
and then,
oh,
yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Just don't remember that now. Just as Tim was, I was looking at watching Tim. Just as two cars came out of the pits, and the back markers decided we went 4 wide.
Wow.
wow.
Was it 2 or 3 wide? And I think I just stopped, let Tim go past. Yeah, that was an interesting moment.
Yeah, it
Woke you up.
was
Wow.
Jeremy Bush coming out.
It's a shame John never caught that from your, like a chase point of view then.
That is the reason why I like the long pit. Exit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but
I was a bit concerned something like that would happen.
Whether they
crash.
use it in real life or not, it gives you another 10 seconds to look down the track to see what's coming.
yeah, but this is
Much,
the only track
much
where
safer to do.
it's the only track where I've ever been pinged for a penalty for impeding in qualifying, and it's because when you come out of that pit on that long one, you wind up on the outside of the apex on turn 2, not going at 200 k's an hour.
Yeah,
That was from my seat. That was never going to be a crash, but you had 2 cars that were fighting at the same point. 2 cars were fighting, and it was just Tim just got me. Tim just was like, okay, I'm going, and I just went and pulled him behind the 2 that were fighting.
Well, then I see that would have been a wrong decision, John. Whoever made that decision needs kicking in the arse.
Well, you know the series that I was in, so I'll say no more.
Oh, well, say no more. Yeah, well, that idiot does need a kick in the arse.
The funny thing is, that most tracks you don't get a choice with the exits. I mean, you take
No, that's right.
Sturbering, for instance. I mean, they come straight out on, the exit of turn 1, don't they? You have to have your real eyes up coming out of there.
Yeah, that exit of turn 1 at Sebring. Apologies still
The good thing about
goes out
Phillip
to
Island,
that
though, is you can, as long as you don't have Timmy, as long as you haven't got Timmy Betts in your ass and you're looking in the mirror, you can actually look down piss lane. You can see everyone that's pulling out, so you can definitely see them if you're looking that way. There's no question. But just when you look in the mirror, when it comes to problem.
Yeah. I had an incident further on that I'll talk about when we get close to there. It's not like yours, but a similar thing.
Yeah, down that straight. I took the centre of the track.
Oh no. Oh yeah, lap 17. Yeah, that's about right. Eight's gone in a little bit earlier.
Is that series still running, John, or is that something I haven't been up to date with?
No comment from John there?
What was that, sorry?
Is that series still running?
I believe no. That is also the only other series where I've had another driver who I was racing against calling the race control for a black flag because I had my bonnet missing and my rear wing missing.
Well, that was the series I got wiped out at Mosport at the bottom of the hill in that double left-handed or double right-handed apex thing.
Yep.
Because someone went out on the grass, got it loose, and drove into me. Completely just pushed me into the barrier, and I wiped out somebody else, and I got penalised for it.
Anyway.
So I never went back because the idiot wouldn't know how to run a series if he tried.
Yes.
Hey, Johnny, can I have my last lap of fame, mate?
And in front of the moment, we still have coming across the stripes, Scotty the Rattler Van Loon coming into turn 1, clear lead in front of him, massive 4 seconds. Back to Simon Farrington.
Actually, Faz picked me up 2 seconds in about 10 laps. It was after Timmy went off. I was about 6.5 in front of him, and I think when I pulled into the pits, I was about 4.2. So he was gaining every lap.
Yeah, he did drive well.
Yeah, he did. He did. Then we had a bit of a battle later on too, but yeah, This is not good. I'd like to know. There's no. I can't come back on the pit lane speed, can I? No,
Nah.
no. I can't put in a protest. I'd like to know, see what actual speed I was doing. But that'll teach me though for not practicing the pit lane entry practice. I didn't practice it at all.
Actually, what we can do this.
I think it's
Oh, you're not gonna. Eh?
I think it's 72 if memory's right.
Yeah.
No, can't
Well, see,
win.
the police would let you off for that.
Yeah, I was going to say 72, I think. I mean, you didn't have to rush or anything, did you?
Actually,
no.
we will do that because this will be interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
I mean, you just led for 18 laps, my
Oh,
friend.
if you look without seeing it through the wall, I reckon it would have only been 2 or 3 kilometres across the stripe.
As soon as I
you're-
seen it said
yeah.
slow down, I knew, and then it come up on the top left pit 40 seconds. So it's like, there goes my race. I'm done.
Well, I haven't
It's
met
better.
Sebring last week, so
Yep.
It's better if you do it going in than going out.
yeah.
The cones
well,
aren't. The
Going
cones
out,
aren't.
you got your pit limiter on, so it'd be harder to do. But coming in, if it was 2 kilometres, that makes me even feel worse.
Yeah, in pure driving school, Beneke goes a full breakdown on how to make up 5 seconds in the pits, and he runs through the cones actually out the detection point.
Well,
It varies track to track, and you've got to test it and find it.
so this is where I watched all the cars pass me coming out of the pits.
If it's any consolation, I got a 40-second penalty for crossing a white line at Fuji, so
I didn't.
doing a stupid pit entry. So we all do it.
Well, last week at Sebring, mate, I went in on the right speed, but thought I'd hit my pit limiter, and then merrily decided to speed back up to about 100 k's.
Where am I now? 13th? Still in the pits.
There we go.
jeez.
And there we go.
Yep. Thanks, mate.
Leaving
there we
now.
go. Leaving in
would think-
13th.
Who would think 40 seconds would get... It feels like four hours, doesn't it?
It did, absolutely. It's
And then
and then
someone-
It's 40 seconds of swearing at yourself.
And then someone's
Adrian,
gone past
Adrian
you.
got me on the exit.
Yeah, I had to
And then
take
give it-
about 5 looks and go look at the name and go, what's he doing behind me? Oh, that's not. What's he doing behind me?
And then I
then
think we battled for a few laps, didn't we?
Yeah, and I've gone, oh, you're way too fast for me, so I'll let you pass. And then sort of we went to crawl mode. I'm going, come on, pass me.
I didn't know what you were doing. All good.
So, for those that have joined us late, the pre-qualifying tracks for season 13, Imola and Alton Park. We did the spinny wheel of deathy thing, and that's what we came up with. After Mark Dial demanded a redraw.
By track.
I reckon we do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I reckon redraw as well.
yeah, I reckon too.
See, outvoted.
Alton Park only takes a
Put it
minute
to the
or something,
committee.
doesn't it? Is that
Yeah,
right?
but it's a bloody goat track, mate.
Is it?
Yeah,
She's bumpy.
it's a goat track.
I'd rather do Barber. And that's saying something.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, at least Barber's wide and flat.
And a good mix of flow and hard.
Yeah, you've rubbed it in enough now, Johnny.
I don't know, I'll be
smart.
I'll be more than happy to stay in Split 3 next season, so it doesn't matter where it is.
Me too.
Well, with those two tracks, I couldn't see myself going up to split 2.
Oh, we're gonna have a shutout, are we, boys? That's half the thirds haven't
Of
qualified
course,
yet.
of course, don't forget that the top 3 in the series go through split 2. But
automatic.
automatic. But still have to do qualifying times in case they're quick enough for split 1.
Good one, John.
Yeah.
Right, it's a very good one. And then the other one is, I'll just so you know, the top 20 in split 1 are automatic. They don't need to qualify. The top 3 in split 2 are automatic. Don't need to qualify. And then, yeah, top 3 of split 3 go straight into split 2. Or above if they're good enough. Bruce having a bit of a look here. Timmy, you have a bit of pressure?
Yeah, it was a good little battle, that one.
Yeah. Well, I still got close on the track. I think I was hunting down Brett Taylor at this stage. Starting to hit a little bit of a groove.
Having a little look.
Of course, in the 2006 Greg Murphy Super Cheap livery.
I noticed nobody did the Kmart car. Thought somebody would have had the Kmart car.
Oh, when
Real.
your team's sponsored by Super Cheap Auto, it's pretty easy retro round paint to do.
Oh, you mean the Lap of the Gods car?
Yeah, the Lap of the
Yeah.
Gods car for Kmart, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Shannon McMillan might have raced it, but he stuck with the team colours. Because I know he did one for the last retro round.
White
Yeah,
wheels
yeah.
this time, eh?
Yeah, went white wheels.
Looks good.
Peter Vermey's still battling up the front here with Timmy Betts.
It was strong all night. Hey,
He's definitely getting quicker. I've noticed that. He's getting more consistent.
yeah, consistent and quicker. Yeah, he's always been pretty quick. It's just, he was up and down a bit, but yeah, just solid all night.
Of course, Super Cheap Auto also sponsor the East Coast V8 series that runs on Tuesday nights.
How many members you got in that one, John?
What's that, sorry?
How many members you got in that one?
We've got 100 people signed up for this season, but by the end of the season, you sort of wind back to about 40, 45 regular drivers.
Wow, that's a big drop off.
But just the calibre of drivers we've got. Morning, Jeff. All the way from sunny New York, hopefully. Yeah, so for that series, we've got a pretty good range of drivers sort of going from guys that race in the Logitech G Pro Series like Tom Freer and Brenton Hobson, Jordan Ross and Blake Warboys, sort of back to guys that are fairly green and guys that are still getting used to racing without aids like Roy Clark. So it's a few of the Vets boys in that series.
I thought Roy Clark did have AIDS.
And of course, Roy Clark out-qualified Andrew Ritchie this week, which was quite an interesting development.
What track?
They were at Sebring and Phillip Island on Tuesday night. So if you're bored and want to watch another broadcast at 10 to 8, myself and Mark Duggan from Split 1 do the commentary for that series.
Is it 2 splits, John?
No, just one split at the moment. If you have sort of 70 or 80 drivers, we then go to 2 splits.
Yeah, well, that'd be nose to tail just about around the whole track.
Yeah, I think the biggest field we ran this year was about 50 or 60 cars.
Wow.
Andrew Galley working his way back through, catching up to Scotty Perrins. He's on lap 24 now.
I was talking to Scotty after the race, and he nearly had to turn the comms off after the Rattler little indiscretion. A little bit verbal there, where we Rattler.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ed.
Of course, the WK&P comms were quite interesting after Andrew tapped Adrian early on. Scotty going to the grass there. I've never heard Andrew just go, just give me the penalty now, Josh. Josh, I want the drive-through. Josh, hurry up, Josh. Why are you even looking at it?
I was behind him, and he's just going, "Yep, no worries." Boom, straight in he went.
Yep.
I go, "Oh, there's one less one I have to dangle with."
Anyway, he's making his way back through. He might jump back, see how Ty Feldman's getting on. She's all the way back in 23rd, still working her way through. Still on the lead lap, doing quite well. And the other big improver last night, who I thought off the track a few times, but still did very well, was Greg Sholton. He seems to be improving greatly week from week, which is good to see. And Lucas Burt still in the lead lap, up in 17th, being hunted by Laurie Saunders.
Hey, mate.
It's lap 25 at the moment.
Well, who was that went off there?
Went off track.
That's right.
Phil Marsh.
That's car's seen better days.
It's looking a bit second-hand.
It is,
Yep.
isn't it? Is that what brought out the safety car? No.
No,
It's a
no,
blind end.
no, that's all planned.
Okay.
It's in my notes. I'm not going to miss it, hopefully. So Pete Vermey's still being hunted by Timmy Betts. Of course, Timmy Betts in the Larko livery.
Hey, Mr. Parents.
Evening.
Hey,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah,
Scotty.
Faz is gone at this stage.
How are you?
Yeah, he had about
Yep.
once all the smoke settled, he was about 7 seconds up. Geez, how did he get so far up? The man was on fire.
It couldn't have been grip hacks because he's never that good any other week. So,
Who's that?
Baz.
Baz.
And
Yeah, he was.
big Saturday night welcome to Scotty Perrins, who's dropped in and joined us.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was a bit late. I had Aussie Sprint Series tonight. And the Porsches around Oran Park. That was fun. Not?
You know, I'm making Oran Park round 1 next season.
Oh, here we go.
Not again.
I heard it was Bathurst.
Oh,
Those cars look quite differently when I was actually racing because there's like these two cars with the same livery up front. I'm going, what's going on here? Are they playing silly buggers? But no, not at all.
Mine and
Sure.
Rattlers.
Trying to just jumped out of the way.
Don't worry, because it will come up. Oran Park will come up for
It'll come back one day.
season. No, it'll be coming up after this season. I'm going to make sure it's coming back.
I can tell you it's not next season. won't be in 13.
No,
This
13
is-
got popped up the other week,
It
last
was-
week, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be in the official for season 14. So if it's in the official, it'll be in ours.
Yeah. I think that's pretty well much the way we're playing it now, sticking to the officials.
I'll just have a word to the have a whisper in the guy who organises the official that it goes into season 14, 15, and 16.
Of course, last time the V8 vets raced at Oran Park, Mark Dial didn't make it past the start line. Just saying.
Yeah, that's all right. There's been quite a few people that haven't made it past the start line. I'm not the only one.
Oh, and of course, it was 2 weeks in a row for Mark, who sold her the week before, didn't make it past the start line either.
I'm guessing you had to work Thursday night, Mark?
Yeah.
I thought so.
And
I got home at about 10 to 8, so it was just way, it didn't work at all.
Yes, we're having some good little battles in this mid pack for a while.
definitely battles everywhere at the moment. There's a couple. So
Oh,
Vermi and Betts are still going. We've got Galley and Walden. Just
I
look.
did.
Oh, was that Scotty?
So, Johnny,
That's all right.
I had a good battle with Dave Worrell. Most of the race.
It was a good fight, yeah.
It was a good night, wasn't it?
It was, mate. It was good. Tried to sneak it up a couple of times, but yeah, we can't get there yet.
And might jump back, see how Laurie's getting on. Laurie Saunders is under a bit of pressure from Tony Power behind him. Is it Tony? Sorry, he's putting a bit of pressure on Lucas in front of him. I'll get that right in a second. It's Jeremy
Alright, so
Bush.
where is Andrew Galley?
Andrew Galley at the moment is running in 7th.
I've got to say, Andrew, if you're listening, that is poor taste in having a blue car with red wheels. That's shocking.
Hey, at least it didn't have the number 37 on it.
That's a good thing. Sorry, Dave.
He's at the football night, so he can't hear us until tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And he'll be upset
if you
anyway.
wanna-
So.
Oh, shit, that's what I was meant to do, was turn that TV on, so I can stir him up.
Still time. Dave Worrell in a bit of a battle here. With Walden behind and Andrew Galley moving in on this pack as well. Of course, Andrew next season is going to focus more on his Speedway campaign, so probably won't see him do too many races, I don't think.
Is
Should
that
be a bit-
Andrew?
Yeah. Should be a bit sad, considering how well he's improved this season. Scotty Gamble commenting that the lap times are pretty even across the top 10. I think there was a bit of talk about blue flags around this time of the evening. As Andrew,
Oh,
What'd you say about practicing speedway driving?
exactly.
Yeah, I noticed that in I'm going to have to query on what was going on in Split 2 last night. Whether it was just people asking people to get out of the way or thanking people because they got out of the way. I don't think you should be asking people to get out of the way. If you're a leader, second place, third place, you shouldn't need to ask people to get out of the way.
Of course,
Not
should
unless
just
you
happen.
got the blue flag.
It should just happen.
and if it doesn't, Mark, what do you do then?
First tap's a warning, second tap you're off.
just a reminder too with everyone with when we do our retro rounds to make sure you get the league banners on.
It's a nice looking skid too, isn't it? I tell you.
Mm.
What's that? The old Porsche?
Yeah.
Really nice. Oh,
Whee!
Oh, Laurie.
oh, Laurie. Up, up.
Please get control.
That's it.
Actually, quite like Pete Tallock's car. It looks quite good.
That does look good. Might
You can
just-
tell it's iRacing gravel, not real gravel.
Yeah,
It must
don't
be-
say
It looks wet underneath, doesn't it? You know, you're all dry on top, but wet underneath.
It is Phillip Island.
Of course, Laurie's tyres will be a bit cooked here, I reckon.
And do we know if any penguins were injured or maimed in this race?
I'll come back to you on that one.
I'm surprised there was no geese sitting in the apex of the corners. Had that a few times down there.
I
Wouldn't
know, I didn't
surprise me.
get a penalty.
I always look at this track and wonder how the wind, because you're right in the ocean.
Laurie's gone bush again.
Yeah,
We
so it
can
should be
play.
from the south on a gale all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna- and
I
does
have
that, yeah, does that affect the cars? Because it doesn't look like got much protection as far as trailers.
It gets very cold. I'll send you a photo. I'll send John a photo.
Yeah, it
Oh,
does
that-
get extremely cold.
Does the wind buffer the cars around a bit? That was,
Yeah, you
If
get
you
buffered
get a
by the
headwind
wind
down
as
the
well.
straight, yeah. I don't think it has a great deal of effect in the iRacing.
a wind.
But it does. You do hear the real life drivers complaining of it when the wind shifts.
I don't think it affects us laterally, but I think it definitely affects top speed if it's like head on or stuff like that. Never really tested it, to be honest, but I think it can have an impact, but you don't feel it in the car so much.
We should look into that the next time it comes up. Although, saying that, this track has come up 11 times in 13, 12 seasons.
Oh,
There we go.
Holy dooly.
And
So
that,
that's why the safety car came out.
Yes.
Okay.
and there's something I rarely do here. I'm going to go to live commentary. Say, poor old Laurie.
Bravo, toe, please. Control.
He's still turning.
Yeah,
He's trying to flip it. He's trying to flip it with a still spinning.
yeah, look at that. Come on.
Yeah.
It's
I
not a
think I
sprint
can, I
car.
think I can.
It's not a sprint car.
Looks like a turtle.
Stuck on his back.
There we go. Josh has just called the ambulance. We're, of course, under yellow flag now.
So I'm going to do the call here. Did that justify a safety car? Was
Well-
it in a dangerous spot?
You've got a car on its roof.
Up on the embankment, off the racing
Yeah,
line.
but it's on its roof. If it was
Wow.
just parked up there, you'd say yes. But if it was on its roof, there's a chance that if it was a real race, they would probably have to still bring out the medical car to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right,
Red
okay.
flag it.
Yeah.
you don't-
Yeah, you'd even red flag it, exactly.
Yeah, fireys.
And it's
don't
interesting
know
when you look
if
now,
they're
you got whoever's in 27th has stopped, whoever's in 7th has stopped.
Because I found it a little confusing when they were trying to figure out if it was a yellow and when the yellow and the pace car and then I think the Rattler went over the start line and said, "Is that a safety?" Because everyone around me's just got in the pits, you know.
Yeah, and then I went past the safety car. So
Yeah.
actually, I thought I would have been in the lead because I didn't come into the
Yes.
pit.
It was quite confusing times.
It was.
I'd always
And
just
then
when
I
you had a
thi-
safety car, though.
And then Josh went, "All right, everyone race past the safety car." So I go flying past there at about 150. So now he goes, no, not you, Ed. You got to get back. I went up. So I had to sit there and wait till the safety car caught up. Felt like 3 hours.
Of course, at this stage, I've dove in quickly worked out if I fill up now, I should be. I've got enough room to put the amount of fuel in my tank to get home. So I'm doing quick calculations in my head. So I dove in, then dove in a second time. There you go, Ed. Woohoo!
Yeah. Look, I'm gone. I'm trying to get back to the pits because he said everyone drive past the safety car, and I'm gone. Look, see me.
You didn't me jumping on the brakes behind there.
Yeah, I definitely asked because I think in real life, the safety you do not go past the safety car. They line everyone up, then they let everyone go past to hold the leader because they don't want people racing around at 500 miles an hour trying to get back to the back of the line.
Unless you're Jamie Winkup, you just go.
Yeah,
past
maybe.
it anyway.
That's why I was asking. It's like, hang on, I'm allowed to go past the car at full pace. It just felt weird.
And the fact that so many people had pitted even before the guys sort of made their mind up if a safety car was coming. Yeah, it got really confused.
It
Oh,
was.
as soon as I heard the call of "Can I get a tow?" I was going in, no matter what.
So it royally screwed my race.
Just while we're running slow under the safety car, big shout out to the Alcorn family, of course, that are associated with the All Care car Dave was running. I've got Craig's jumped in the chat watching the replay, so big shout out to Craig.
Oh, so
But-
do I let you know that I had a race tonight with Anita Buckland?
Ah, it's good, Scotty. We need to know that stuff, so she's definitely coming.
Yep. She came for a run in the Porsches tonight. Done all right.
So what do you do, Ed? You went around everybody, then back into P2?
Yeah, so no, I've just pulled in behind Simon here.
Oh, so you waited for the safety car? and
Yeah, I had to
Simon go
wait for
past.
I had to wait for the safety car. And next,
Yeah.
see this guy, he's gone flying around, and I'm still trying to work out my
What's
fuel
going on? Yeah.
calculations. So there, see, I've gone in now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
but I wanted to do that, like 30, 40, 50 seconds before that, but I wasn't allowed.
Yep.
Where I got annoyed that all the rest of the guys ducked in. You know what I mean? We never got a chance to duck in.
Yep.
I wish I did duck in.
I took
Yeah,
too
you
much
went
fuel
for it.
on in my first stop. Wouldn't have made it.
So leaving so late.
Yeah, Scotty, you went for track position.
Yeah, no, Scotty wanted his little 5 minutes of fame, and he got it. He led the race. He led the race.
I just had to get that sniff.
You did, didn't you? You led the race, Scotty. What was it? Half a lap or?
What was
No,
that happening in the background with
oh.
someone deciding
Yeah,
to
someone just slid off then.
slide into the wall?
They hit a goose.
22.
One of the geese up there.
I reckon
was
it would have
great.
been about. I reckon it would have been about 1.5 seconds.
So yeah, someone's come screaming up on the back of the pack.
Yep, blocked up. Instead of hitting, they've
and
gone right.
taken and avoiding action.
Yep.
I think that's the only problem with a short fuel strategy. If you decide to just go short long, and a pace car comes out like when this one did, it really stuffs you up completely. I was lucky that I was going sort of. I was focusing on trying to even my tyres out as much as possible, so I sort of went long short, which meant I had the option to, because this was earlier than I'd planned, obviously, but I could just fill it and then just run to the end, luckily. So I couldn't have asked for one at a better time, as it turned out for me.
Yeah, I think most people would have just made it in lap 30, 33 or 34. So it was a well-timed safety car. If it was a lap or two earlier, it would have been very interesting.
This is the most airtime I've got on a coverage.
Might get a bit more now, eh, Dave? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Just to the blue 37 out there that's not listening tonight, suffer at the moment.
Is that what we've got to do to get more airtime? Join WK&P.
Probably a good time for the sponsors, Johnny.
It is very good time to mention Quantum Synth Solutions. They've always been all on board with some spec engineering and racecraft as well. And while we're speaking of sponsors, we're actually the league is on the lookout for a naming right sponsor for the next season. So if anyone knows of anyone who might be interested in being involved in sponsoring our league, just have a chat to Luke Holland or myself. Try and see what we can do. So we've got young Brandon out there still running around in the safety car.
Just saying, we've got a G Craig Alcon up to, come and join the league. He's old enough now, so he should be out there having a crack. Come and join us and have a crack.
Should be lots of fun, Craig. Until we must enjoy it that much on Thursday night that we've all come back again to watch it. So
Yeah, it is great fun. It's a great league. Love it.
Even as we both know, Scotty, even though you have a bad race, it's still a lot of fun
It is, yeah.
because you're racing right to the checkered flag.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are on the track.
No.
You're racing against someone. There's someone behind you, someone in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Fantastic.
It's the numbers. That's the big thing. I mean, what have we got? How many people on track at the moment? About 20?
29.
Yeah. I know that's the numbers, John. I was looking at that. But at
And it's
least
the personality, isn't it? It's the culture. Like everybody's great to drive around and fun, in chat, on track, and in practice, and it's just a really good league.
And you're not having the issues of what you get with racing against people who don't really have a care in the world when you sort of go into officials. We're sort of a league, you want to come back next week.
Yeah.
And the car choice, yes, we can be, half. Most of us are not more than a second apart, but some people can be a second and a half apart. But come the race, you're sort of half that. It's only tenths that you're separating everyone over a distance of a race.
Difference between qualifying and race pace.
Yeah.
Well, qualifying, there was 8 of us in the 29. It was just phenomenal.
And that was what, 8 tenths? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is. Go on, John.
No, you're right. You're right, Ed. You keep going.
No, it's your channel, mate. You
No, you keep going.
Look, if neither of you want to bloody talk, I will.
But as we all know, a tenth of a second is absolutely nothing. It's not even a bumper bar.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you really feel like you earn a top 10.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely feel like you work bloody hard. Like,
there's no time to back off. You're always pushing.
Yeah, and you're gone too early on that one. No, we're away. You're always pushing and you're always working hard. And I find even in the middle of winter, you got a t-shirt on, might be 2 degrees outside, the heater's not on, and you're absolutely pouring in sweat because you're working that hard trying to stay in front of Scotty parents.
Air conditioner over my head, and it was on full fan, 22 degrees on Thursday night. I tell you,
I'm gonna say the pants. I was in my underpants trying to keep in front of Scotty. Underpants, t-shirt, and the fan was going.
There's a mental picture I didn't need.
I was just thinking that too.
I was in my tracksuit pants.
As long as they're step ones, mate.
Have you seen the new ones? Set ones.
Tell you what, Dave had the bit between the teeth here. He was off. He was gone.
Well, have you seen what's happening behind him? It was on, I tell you.
Oh yeah.
It was on like Donkey Kong.
Sure was.
So I've gone from second down to 19th after the pit stop. So I was really in a happy mood.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was wondering why you and Faz were so far down. It was because of all that, the safety
Yeah.
car and then the pit
It-
stop.
It was just the timing and everything.
Yeah, unlucky, mate.
But I could say the same about yourself, mate. 2Ks. Like I said, there was a few hard luck stories, but that's Phillip Island for you, hey?
Yeah,
It's vets racing. It's always a hard luck story.
Effing Lukey Heights is all I'll say.
so what, Faz was aggressive though. He put his foot in and he took spots where he could.
He drives like that most of the times. You know you got Faz around you.
Oh
he
yeah,
does it. He does it in practice.
Yeah, I know.
He was
Believe-
racing. He was
Believe-
doing it today.
Yeah. Go, Scotty.
He was doing it today at
Suzuka.
Suzuka.
He's a tough competitor. He teaches you to position your car in the right spot coming to a corner. Because if you give him half a sniff, he's got to put it in there.
but you can
Oh,
still
yeah.
be in the right spot, but he'll go around the outside and then shove it up there for the next corner. That's what he did to me.
Oh, well, that's just driving it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might notice my lines have changed ever so slightly now. Just taking that slightly defensive line, trying not to shoot myself in the foot there with exit speed. It's a little bit tighter.
We had a nice run a little bit.
We
Right.
did, until I made a stupid mistake. Made a couple this evening, nothing too crazy, but I was definitely kicking myself because it was like, oh, that was fun. Now I've got to do it all over again.
We're having a massive battle with I think you, me, and Tim, and we were fighting for like 13th or 14th spot.
Yep. Since when do the positions matter?
Yeah, no, it was. You just knew if you blinked, you were going to get overtaken.
Yep, there goes Simon.
Yep. Now he's coming up behind me. As soon as I saw his name come up behind me, I'm like, oh no.
So whinging.
He's just gonna send it down somewhere. And he does. He's hard, he's fair though, but he's so I'm not you. Still not you. If you listen to Faz, well done, mate.
Yeah, a good race.
Just
So-
to answer Will Wilson's question, I think to be naming right sponsor, I think it's about $1,000 a season.
You cheap, John?
Yeah,
It's
pretty
about
cheap.
80 bucks a week. 80 bucks a race, yeah.
Yep, and considering you're throwing that across 3 splits, 3 broadcasts, not to mention how many other races we do, the fact there's 120 drivers plus family and friends that follow along. So it's got a fairly large audience that we deal with. So I think it's fairly good value from where I sit anyway.
It is good
Think-
value.
I think most of us would support the products or the services of that particular sponsor, give them half the chance.
Start lap 40, you want to quickly jump back to Die.
Yeah, me and Di here. So we're racing. I've gone past, and I go, I got this. And next minute,
Oh,
that's at 277 kilometres an hour. Di's done the best save I've ever seen in my life. Sim racing.
hell yeah.
That's a great save. Well
So,
done, Di.
for my part in that accident, it wasn't 100%. I'll take 50% blame. Terribly sorry, Di.
And Dave Worrell, I was lucky not to have something go smashing into my windscreen, which I'll show at the end of the broadcast.
Didn't have to have the underpants on, so that's alright.
I've still got a
actually,
windscreen.
I actually sacked my spotter after that one with Di, and I only ended up with one incident, and that was it for the race. It's
think-
just complete blind spot on a single time. Didn't even
I think
see.
Faz takes me this lap too.
Oh, let's go back.
Leaky Heights.
Oh,
There
oh,
it is.
oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I asked race control about that too because I didn't think he was up far enough, but
There was a touch, was there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Yes, I had the lead.
No, not yet, Scotty.
Not for long.
Hang on a minute.
Andrew Galley going sideways around the corner again. Speedway
Where's
style.
How's Dave? Where's Dave? What happened
Too
to Dave?
early.
Dave,
That explains how I caught up.
Still
Oh,
going.
there's Dave. He's still leading.
Still going. It's my time to shine, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, you weren't letting it... you weren't letting it go.
I'll have to make the most of it, Dave. By sounds like we're going to have Craig Orcon next season.
I know. I've got Craig Auckland coming on, mate. So I'm gonna have to give him his paint job back, and
So you got 16 to go. How are you feeling at this stage, Dave?
I was going, fuck, shit. Where's the fuel?
I'm just holding it back.
try to save as much fuel as I could.
Oh, you weren't 100% confident on your fuel?
No, I stuffed up at the first pit stop. Put too much fuel in.
Ooh,
Speaking of stuffing up,
Yep.
there we go.
oh, that was nice of him to show that, Brace.
Yeah, well, so that was just the classic,
Thanks for
snatched a
coming.
break, snatched a break, and then overcorrected, and where she went.
It's nice being Saturday night. I get time to do my homework.
Okay, that's brought
And-
you back to... That's brought you back to me,
Yep.
because I'm in 16 to them. I was with John there for a while. We're still together, John?
Yeah, I'm still behind you, Ed.
Yeah.
Dropping back a
felt
little
like-
bit at this stage.
When I got back out after the pits, I went, got me racing.
Let's just jump back up to where this battle is. Peter Vermey and Andrew Galley. And Timmy Betts all boxed up behind Scotty Perrins.
I'm just holding them off for Dave.
Thanks for that, Scotty.
No worries, mate.
I had a laugh there, Dave. Both you and Scotty got your fastest lap on the same lap. But Scotty's was quicker than yours, so I don't know what was... You were leading, but he's quicker than
Dave-
yours. But...
Dave does
It's
tell
all
me
about
he's a good
drafts.
Dave does tell me he's a good driving coach.
Allegedly. So I remind John Bow every week that I beat him. Every time we go coaching.
So you two guys have still got a pit, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Dave's
there
peeling
we go.
off. Here we go. Drum roll.
Oh, ready?
I don't know who this bloke is in front.
Go, Scott.
He
Scotty,
was in
Scotty.
front, just
Oh.
across the stripe. Now he's
no,
not.
He's there. No. Yes, still.
That was short-lived,
No, he's
Scott.
gone.
Could have warned me. I could have told everyone, don't blink.
Next time will be a lap.
That's a stat. That's a stat on your career, mate.
Absolutely.
You take that one.
Hey, I'm counting my 2 laps that I've led, so you can count that one.
Yeah. I think if you look at your stats on stat system, it shows you how many laps.
That's your led, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to cross the stripe and get back across the stripe to count too, by the way.
Yes. I'll try that next time this week.
Geez, Pete was flying, wasn't he?
Yeah, like I said, very solid run by Pete tonight. Got his minus a boot. I think
Yeah.
someone said someone stole your boot, didn't they, Scott? Someone stole your boot, mate.
Yeah. We've lost him.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
sorry.
he's still there? No.
Yeah, it's a bad arrow. Real bad.
Hatchback model.
No, he's about to have something else stolen. Like a downforce.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's what got me.
oh. Who was that? Deep breath.
Yep.
So Timmy Betts back in front. Scotty Perrins into the pits. And then someone was saying before about how did this happen? I've got Scotty Van Loon behind me. I was having one of those moments at this stage.
Yeah, what's going on, John? I never saw you all night. That's very abnormal for us.
I spent most of the week doing liveries and God knows what else, so it wasn't until Thursday night that I actually sat and turned my first lap of Phillip Island, and it's one of those tracks where, yeah, as much as
Done it.
Dave Baldock loves it, I hate it.
But you've done it 1,000 times, haven't you?
The track, yeah, it's
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
it's just one of those ones. You got to get in the rhythm and flow, and I just didn't get in the rhythm and flow all night. Didn't have too many
I don't
offs or
know.
anything, but just didn't get in the rhythm and flow.
I don't know how you felt, Rattler, when you turn your first few laps here. You go, "Oh, I got a lot of work to do here."
Yeah.
Did you feel like that your first couple of laps?
Oh, mate, that's me every track.
Mate, I come out of that last turn. It took me 6 laps to stop it from veering right into the grass. I just couldn't.
I think it was Monday night when I actually got my crap together with the track. It took me, from the Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday over the weekend, and then Monday night I could. It's like, okay,
There you
this
go,
feels
Timmy.
good now.
I have to wait till my mentors get online, and they'll rock a day where I like to have a crack over the weekend.
Yeah.
I have to wait till my mentors get on there and tell me what lines.
It's just like Suzuka. I hate it. Absolutely loathe this track. Racing this week.
And another one falls off in front of Andrew Galley. You made it too easy for him.
Who was that?
Who was that? Pete Vermy.
Oh, Bernie fella. Oh,
Start calling him Moses. He's parting the track. It's like he's parting the seas.
I see Mr. Powell's sitting there nicely in fourth. It's
Yeah,
quite
Michael.
a keeper.
Yeah, Michael
Trying to
did well.
keep out of trouble.
That's 2/3 of the battle. So the moral of the story for Andrew Galley is just hit someone on lap 1 or 2 and get a drive through.
Yeah, I'll try that at Suzuka next week if I'm around.
Very quiet all night. He had his head down and worked hard. So yes. So a few other battles. Adrian Zeal still battling away with Darren Walden in front of him. So Darren drove well as well, sitting mid-8th at the moment. And Tim, yeah, I reckon it would have been said more than once. And at about 3 different decibels.
Yeah, and a lot of it was in the pit lane too.
This is where I think you and I were going at it too.
Yeah, I got a sniff there. I said, "Oh, there's Bruce." I thought to myself, "This is going to be tough." He doesn't give it up that easy.
Oh, I did if you asked nicely.
Actually, you pulled away from me. You did. You pulled a big gap, and then I think you got backed up by
And of course,
a few cars.
Pete Wilkinson drove really well, sitting behind you too. Just behind myself at stage.
Yeah, I think I got backed up behind Brett, I think.
Yeah,
what
and that closed the gap to us.
Yeah, I think it took me like 3 laps to really line Brett up, and I had a couple of goes at a couple of different spots and couldn't do it. So it took me 3 laps to finally get around him, I think.
And then I think you just missed turn 2, and I got a run on. You missed it. I nailed it. I'm going into Honda. I think I went around the outside.
Yeah, I think I was
And
backed
you-
off at that point too.
And I think you pinched the curve or something, spun on the
Yep.
curve.
That's what happened. Story of my life. I must admit, it's been really interesting to, I think I was just looking at the stats earlier. I've done 114 hours in this car so far this season, 1,370 odd laps. And I'm definitely comfortable with it now. I wouldn't say I'm quick, but I'm definitely, quite happy with it, chucking around and I'm actually driving at the limit of the car now, as opposed to the limit of my underpants, if that makes sense.
And that's half the battle. Is working out where those limits are.
To Mark's discuss, when you have the one guy doing the setups, they don't alter massively between tracks.
Or massively between
Yeah,
seasons either.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I notice is if he changes the master cylinder sizes. That's the biggest thing that I notice when it changes.
Yeah, but that's a personal preference thing, isn't it? Do you change it? What's that, the front brake bias are you talking about?
No, it's if Jamie changes the master cylinder size. That's probably the biggest thing I notice, because I feel the brakes, because I'm not that good on the brakes, so it goes from it being I can't lock this car at all to I'm locking it now, and have to really think about it.
When you say that's a personal preference with the way you brake pedal up on your own system?
I think that's how I feel it, yeah. But it's one of the changes, because remember when we were doing the setups at Belle Isle, he changed it between setup 2 and setup 3. I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not locking anymore. Why is that? Jamie, did you change the brake light? Change the master cylinder? He goes, yeah. He's surprised I picked it, actually, I think. But that's the one thing I sort of noticed, because I think if you don't know how to brake the car properly in the master cylinder sizes, it's set so it's less efficient from a braking point of view, but it's easier to not lock. So for someone who's new, it's safer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I sort of noticed early on.
A little iRacing trick is when you calibrating your pedal, is you don't push the brake pedal to the full extent. You back it off about anywhere from 5 to 10%. Like I was locking them up all the time, and then when I go to calibrate my pedals, I leave about 10% in the calibration, and then I felt I have to do something really, really push that pedal really hard to lock the fronts.
I run VRS pedals with 120 kilo spring. I can't even push 70%.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny, did we just miss you go around?
No.
I think we did, didn't we?
No.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
It
still
was
there. Still
10.
going. Still in front of. Still
10
back at
to.
15th. You might have.
Yeah, I remember waving to you.
Waving or giving me the bird?
No, I'm not like that. I always wave.
By this stage, my tyres were absolutely shot.
Yeah.
And I knew that Dave Worrell and Scotty Perrins were behind me, and they were coming like a rate of knots with fresh tyres.
Oh, yeah.
So now it was like, will I make it or not? Don't push, don't try too hard, but don't go too slow. Andrew's cleared out to 2.5 seconds.
Pete's giving Tim a bit of a hurry up here.
I quite like the colour of that true blue.
Yeah, it looked good on the XD, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, XD. My brother had an XD wagon for years.
Broken door handles.
I think so, actually.
Well, at least one. At least one of them.
Oh,
would have been
probably.
There was an easy fix for that. You just drilled out the rivet and put a screw in there.
Just weld the bugger shut.
It was mainly the black ones, wasn't it? Not the silver ones, the black handles.
Yeah, black handles were always a problem.
Dave back in 18th, chasing down Scotty Perrins.
Buddy Scotty.
Hey.
Kept teasing me, leaving the door open every now and again. There you go. Just kidding.
Ed finally getting past Brett.
Yeah. Have a sniff, Dave.
Jump back up. So these boys are having a ding-dong battle between Timmy and Pete. And Matty Mites hanging onto the back with Michael Power. That was a great drive from you, Mick.
Yeah, had a great night. Started 13th, finished 5th, I think, 5th, yeah.
You're up 8 spots there, you and Matty. And Diane at the moment in 16th, up 10 spots.
I mowed the grass early in the night and ended up back with you, John, but I didn't get any TV time.
Will Wilson, yeah, Dave Worrell is the guy that won Class E at the Bathurst 6 Hour. Just to answer your question in the chat.
2 years officially, 3 years unofficially. We won't go to that middle year.
Right. Oh, Pete having a look here.
What are people's thoughts on the proposed changes that are going to happen to the officials next season? Or you're not across what they are? Or don't care about officials?
No.
So the proposal is that the US servers will become 20-minute fixed setup sort of races, and then the Aussie servers will still stay the 40-minute open. That's sort of the experiment that I think is going to happen next season.
That sounds promising, because if they do that, then they're going to have to do something about the brake bias and the ARB changes. Because the Americans definitely won't put up with no ARB.
So yeah, it'll be interesting if that actually does happen, and we do get some participation back up.
I might have to get on the forums and get into them.
Obviously, the first week will be super participation with it being Bathurst. Interesting to see if it sticks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they do fix that.
I do have a question. Have we chosen pre-qualified tracks yet?
Yes, Imola and Alton
No,
Park.
Scotty, we didn't.
No, we haven't, mate. No, we haven't.
No.
You're going to redraw it.
No, the wheel's still got a spun at the end.
What tracks did you want, Scotty?
Oh, I was just throwing the question out.
Yeah, and I'll throw an answer out. What they said is not right. Whoa.
That has been drawn.
What would you like to see, though?
Oh, I don't mind. Whatever track's drawn, I go with.
Wrong answer, Scotty. Wrong answer.
Yeah, wrong answer, mate.
Would you be happy, Scotty, if it was...
What if we said it was Alton Park and Imola? How would that go?
You passed out.
I'll live with it.
You'll live
Or
with
what
it,
if
will
you said it was Sandown and Fuji?
That'd be good.
That would be good.
What if I told
Well,
you it
about
was Winton and Oran Park?
I can handle Winton.
I can tell you it's not those two.
Oh,
Whew.
white and brown now.
The tracks, Scotty, are Imola and Alton Park.
Imola and Alton Park.
Yep.
Oh, very good.
The Witch Alton Park, there's like 27,000 layouts.
Mm,
Yeah.
Oh, was there?
yeah. No,
what?
one with is it one with Britons or fucking
No, that's basically we're running the same layouts as what we run this season. So I think Alton Park is one of the last 2 rounds.
With both chicanes or just one?
I'm not 100% certain what it is yet, Scotty. Luke and Cam have still got to finalise that component of it. But yeah, we're running the same layout, same setups, same temperatures as season 12. And then that way then it gives the committee and management the opportunity to assess people's times and if people can't make pre-qual for whatever reason, they can then go back and have a look what sort of times they did qualify at these circuits in, which sort of gives them a bit of an idea roughly where a driver sits across the 3 splits.
Last time we were there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which wasn't that long ago.
So these 2 races will be held after the season, I gather?
Yes,
Yeah,
week 13.
week 13.
13.
Yep. And looking in the wrong spot. So yeah, just you're all going to love it because oh no, I just went and looked at this. You want to know what round 11 and 12 are?
Oh, they're not, are they?
They are.
Yeah, it's Imola and Alton Park.
Imola.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Last year, there will be no surprise.
Yep.
God.
So we'll be sick of those 2. There'll be no excuses for not knowing the track. put it
Or
that
you
way.
could just take the, or you could just take the actual qualifying for both those rounds and use that as prequel. Just saying.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Good idea.
And of course, the setup is in Discord now for this week. So that's been finalised as well.
There'll be another. Shall I say it?
We might jump down the back here. Dave Worrell still chasing down Scotty Perrins. Showing good composure, Scotty.
Yep. Got me door was open.
Yeah, so it was a pretty wide Commodore.
Trying to make it as wide as possible.
Do whatever you can to make it as wide. That's my motto.
And Jeff Eddy keeping the pressure on Adrian Zeal. It's a good drive by Jeff last night. Get himself in the top 10.
Yeah, I like that green. That green's nice. Pops.
The big NASCAR numbers on the side. So definitely NASCAR inspired from the States.
You know, green gives you bad luck.
Was
Scotty.
better than purple, mate. I think purple was the colour of sexual frustration.
And Scotty
Kermit
Perrins under a lot of pressure now.
Oh, yeah.
Kermit doesn't have bad luck though, Scotty. So he's green.
Well, he's always had bad luck with Miss Piggy, though, mate.
True.
Poor bugger. I think he spent 30 years trying to get in her pants.
Yeah, she played it hard.
Oh, she played hard to get it right. Last lap.
She was a bit of a tease.
Timmy Betts. And he might managing to get himself into third at the moment, which is good to see. Timmy Betts here and Michael Power. Timmy Betts saying green forwards are bad luck. It's better do the right thing.
Can't say I've owned a green one.
Andrew Galley on his last lap here. Coming around to take his first win in V8 Vets to celebrate his 50th start. Fair effort in that one. And we'll jump.
Well done, Andrew.
Yeah, well done, Andrew.
And top three, Pete. Matty.
There we go. Jeff Eddie's just jumped in the chat to say that the green paint was his sprint car paint from 1988.
Nice
Colour,
one.
I like it.
And Scotty Parents going to manage to get home in front of Dave Worrell. So nice drive, Scotty.
Had nightmares all week. Well done, Scott. You did well, mate.
Could have been worse, mate. Scotty could have been driving a Ford.
This is true. This is true.
And we'll just turn that down for a minute. So great results there. So Andrew's not with us tonight, so I'm sure he'd want to thank everybody. I know he really loves racing, split through with all of us. Not with us tonight because he's acting as mechanic for Dave at the City of Melbourne Karting Championships down at Todd Road. And Pete Fermi's not with us either, so I'm sure Pete would be the same. He'd be pretty appreciative of everybody. And Matty Might's home in third, which is great to see a new name on the podium. Another great drive from Matty. So, yeah, it's another really good night, I thought, boys.
Yeah, it was a good race.
It was unreal.
There?
And of course,
one of my best races.
Well, I have a love-hate relationship with this track.
And of course, we did have the safety car come out, and I'm not 100% certain if I showed it, but I did get footage of Josh loading up the ambulance. Anyway.
Classic. Good job, Johnny.
I'll just switch down here. I'm just going to try and do something, so just ignore it as it goes blurry in the screen, because as we were talking before, Dave Worrell has done a bit of driving around here, so we will show one of his little exploits when he was talking about why he needed a change of underpants. Just give me 1 second to try and do a little bit of magic of the old Bobs. I should have probably prepared this a little bit earlier. Of course, it's disappeared. So keep talking amongst yourselves for a second.
A lot of different names, I reckon, in the top 4 or 5 there was quite interesting. The Matty Mites, I thought he drove fantastic. He was the sort of silent assassin. Didn't really picture too much of him all day, and then suddenly he's in the top 3.
Yeah.
Three. And he's been up there the last few weeks anyway. He's been, he's
I noticed him at Sandown. At Sandown, he was quite fast at Sandown. Yeah, but some of the names like Ed and a few of the others, obviously with the pit muck up, but they're down the ladder a bit more on this week.
Yeah, the safety car sort of threw it open a little bit, but I think it was one of those tracks where a lot of guys did have the odd off here and there, which didn't help the equation. And what I might do is I might just play this first, and then I'll show some photos of the actual car after it. If you want to give some extra commentary, Dave, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, so this was basically at the Improved Production Nationals. Probably good 4 or 5 years ago now. First time at the island. BMW got a tap by a VF down the main straight, which left a whole heap of debris over the screen. Over the track. That was me coming through just there towards the end, the Commodore. I don't know which car this was inside, to be honest. So basically, when you come on the straight at Phillip Island in real life, when you're snatching fifth gear, you go on the same speed as if you would be crossing the start-finish line at Eastern Creek to give you some sort of speed idea of what speed you're travelling. So you're moving, and my in-car will be the next footage, as you see. It was a bit of a full-on wild effort. So cars were flying everywhere, obviously, and this was my in-car.
Oh,
Wow.
what was it? Did it fall on your lap?
No, it didn't make it all the way through. Oh, hello.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We've watched it.
Let's leave it there for a bit.
Did you create a
What was that,
professional
Johnny? Go
loop?
back.
I wish that fell on my lap.
Question.
We've watched that. We've watched that one too many times.
Lucky something else didn't come up.
So from what I can see, and looking at the BMW afterwards, it was either a brake rotor, bit of brake rotor, or a wheel, part of a wheel
Wow.
blew up.
That was lucky.
There was that much pressure coming into the cabin. I actually thought it did hit me on the chest. Covered in glass from head to toe. And yeah, Phillip Island can get pretty cold down there, especially with the breeze coming up the straight.
Oh wow.
Very cold.
That was the aftermath of it. So yeah, it was
so lucky.
very lucky.
Absolutely.
I didn't have my visor down, which from now on I always race with it down. I did have my glasses on, so luckily I didn't get any glass in my eyes, but my whole face everything was just covered in glass all over me. So yeah, very, very big fan of the laminated front screen. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so something a little bit different to finish off the evening on, instead of our normal goodbye to everybody after talking about the podium. And of course, here's Andrew showing off, as he does. And I'll be lucky enough in November to watch Andrew actually race in the flesh. He's coming up and doing a round of Victorian Championships at Wangaratta, so that'll be interesting to have a look at. Anyway, boys, I want to say a big thank you to everybody. We'll close the broadcast. So before we go, next week, Suzuka, any quick thoughts on that?
No.
Yeah, no.
Horrible.
Don't like it.
It'll
Don't
be
like it at all.
interesting. It'll be interesting to say the least, and the setup will want to be bloody awesome.
Haven't done it since the Mazda days.
No, I've done it in the Caddy and the Mustang, so Jettas, all those little up along the line coming up the rank. So yeah,
it's a circuit where I've done the old accident, go to call race control, and tow. So
yeah, I might be with you, Johnny. we want to start from the pits, I think.
Anyway, hopefully you'll have a good what's left of your weekend, and we'll see everybody again next week. Not sure whether we're Fridays or Saturdays. Still trying to work out how it's all piecing together with LR Sports and Split 2. And hopefully we can get back to our regular 10 o'clock Friday time slot. So don't forget Split 1 on Race Stars TV on Thursday nights, and Friday nights Split 2 broadcast, followed by us, hopefully. And we'll see everybody next week.
Good on you, lads.
thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, John. Thank you.
Thanks, John.